I'm Deathsie, and I'm a full-time draft specialist on Twitch. Today, I'm here to tell you all about the new and returning mechanics in Alchemy Horizons Baldur's Gate. The first new mechanic is Specialize. Specialize perpetually changes your creature into one of its 5 other versions. In order to specialize, you'll need to pay a generic mana cost ranging from 1 to 6 mana, depending on the card, and discard a card of its respective color identity. For example, in order to specialize a creature into its black variant, you'll have to discard either a swamp or a black card from your hand. Remember, specialize can only be done at sorcery speed. Think of specialize as a class specialization in a Dungeons & Dragons campaign where your character gets a big power-up as you progress on your journey. Now, it might seem complicated to wrap your head around at first, but a way to look at it more simply is that you'll usually be playing only a 2-color deck, so you'll need to consider 2 of the 5 transformation options. Now, if you're a 5-color deck, that's when things get spicy and you're gonna have a lot of decisions to make. Specialize naturally exists on creatures of all corners of the color spectrum. Pick up these specialized creatures highly during your drafts, as they will be your most powerful allies in your games. The next new mechanic is Double Team. Double Team is a new digital-only mechanic that essentially adds another copy of the Double Team's creature to your hand the first time that unit attacks. To avoid Double Team creatures going infinite, both copies will then lose Double Team after you obtain that extra copy. They say 2 heads are better than 1, so double up on your wins with this value-based mechanic. Remember that you will need to attack with them, so decks utilizing the Double Team mechanic will generally want to attack well in order to ensure that in the process of obtaining your second copy of the card, you aren't simply throwing away your first one. Combat tricks and removal spells will help you get that first attack in and continue attacking. The third and final new mechanic is Boon. Boon is a clever way to represent delayed triggers, or rather abilities that don't take effect immediately. Boons allow us to track delayed triggers more easily than before and elevates the possibilities of gameplay and Magic. Unlike previous forms of delayed triggers, boons persist throughout turns and it'll be waiting there until you need it, even if that turn is many turns later down the road. In addition to these 3 new mechanics, we revisit some familiar mechanics as well. Adventures! Adventures are back! Adventure spells are essentially split cards that are categorized as permanents, but they also pack a bonus optional effect. Each adventure card allows you to pay the adventure cost as either an instant or sorcery, and then bank that card in exile until you want to cast that permanent portion later on. These cards provide both flexibility and decision-making options meant for you to be competitive at every point of your game. New to the set, adventure cards, which were featured previously only as creature cards, now exist in the form of artifacts. Use these artifact adventure cards in the same exact way, half now and half later. As a degenerate die-rolling junkie, one of my favorite returning mechanics is rolling a D20. When you cast a spell or activate an ability with this mechanic, you'll roll a 20-sided die, which will determine your fate based on the corresponding result table. Further capitalizing on this mechanic, which initially debuted during Adventures of the Forgotten Realms, giant disaster-class dragons are thrown into the mix, which now go beyond a results table. If your rare dragon is able to connect, you'll get to roll a 20-sided dice and you'll gain a bonus proportionate to that result. Now, last but not least, a returning mechanic to Alchemy Horizons Baldur's Gate are flavor words. These flavor words provide a sense of atmosphere and storytelling to the effect of the cards. While these flavor names have no inherent effect on gameplay, they add a tasteful air of adventure tailored perfectly to our choices and decision making during a game. I've been having an absolute blast exploring the endless possibilities with both these new and returning mechanics in Alchemy Horizons Baldur's Gate. If you're on the fence about checking out this new draft format, take my word for it. This is the most fun I've had playing Limited in a very long time. Enjoy! Earthquake Dragon? Specialized discard my dragon, right? Because I have the 4 mana, dude, 4 mana 10/10s helping me out here? Should we just get the Earthquake Dragon? I guess. Still no. I mean, the safer thing to do is to grab Owlbear, but nah. Rawr! Rawr! Woohoo! Air Elemental. My dragon! Bro!